Hello, Chris Richardson again, running for Congress in the 6th District of California. Now, the thing is that I was involved with a group called World VistA. We are a not-for-profit that was formed back in 2002, and we were taking the Veterans Administration's integrated hospital system and making it easier for medical facilities and other facilities to utilize this incredible tool, which is free for download and will run on just about anything. It will run on a Raspberry Pi. That's a little circuit board about that big, and it could support multiple users on that circuit board. And one of the things that I had been writing about is home health care. The ability for the ill to convalesce at home. And they have a dedicated VistA system. They're monitoring their health issues and making it easy for them to get in touch with their healthcare providers and vice versa. And really make their lives a lot easier and a lot more straightforward and relatively cheap. This little board that I was talking about, the Raspberry Pi, it's less than $50. And it could be put into a box and powered very easily. And as long as it had access to the internet, it could report back to the treatment team. And the treatment team could monitor the healthcare statistics of the patient 7/24. Make it easy for the healthcare providers to watch how the convalescents are convalescing. And this is incredibly valuable. And basically, the package is 180 different aspects of the hospital all in one package. And it was developed by the VA over 40 years ago and has stood the test of time. The efforts to get a commercial system in there have failed miserably. The last one did almost about 40% of what VistA does, and VistA is free. You can download it for free. www.worldvista, all one word, .org, and it'll open up a whole world for you. It'll run on a regular laptop or a desktop, and it can be a dedicated machine so that the healthcare providers can make comments on how the healthcare issues are going and their observations, and the instrumentation of the patient, respiration, heart monitor, oxygenation. Those can all be reported back to VistA and held as time series records. And those can be pushed up to the healthcare team, and they can review how that patient is doing. Also, I was toying around with the idea of making the VistA system able to respond to problem issues that show up in the middle of the night, such as sleep apnea. It's one of the biggest killers of people who are convalescing. They stop breathing. Well, the sleep monitors and the respiration monitors can sense this and do things like turn on the light, sound a horn, beep, something to rouse the patient and get them to start breathing again. And that's usually what happens, is that they fall asleep and they forget to breathe. And as oxygenation drops, they get to a point where their mind isn't working that well anymore. But this is the thing. This system is able to monitor the patient 7/24. And there are a number of ways in which we can instrument it so that it's not even a bother to the patient. Okay, well, another thing, when you download VistA, you get everything. You get a basic patient record and all the mechanisms in order to expand that patient record or to populate it with more information than it originally has. Now that can be transmitted to your treatment team as well. And this is going to be some of the sort of things that are going to happen in the future. We are going to build fewer and fewer of brick buildings known as hospitals. There will be some, but the majority of them are going to be home health care. And the communications is going to be such that, you know, the VistA system can survive as long as it has power. And, you know, having a battery backup on that is priceless. So the system might go offline for a while, but only for a short while. And it will get back to the treatment team immediately once power for communications returns. But these are just the beginning. And I was also working on a methodology of encapsulating the patient record, a single patient record or a group of patient records, and sending them to a national repository where they would be stored. And if the patient is taken to a different hospital, fine, they can download that record once they've gotten permission to that hospital, and it becomes the originator of the record for the time being until the patient is transferred again. And it will start reporting back to the National Repository. And as part of that, the repository would be de-identified and put to a separate server that would allow for clustered evaluation of data, such that you can't tell who is who, but you can see what best practices are for other patients in that group. The patients that are most likely to be very similar to the patient that you have in question, it's going to be pretty powerful. But this is the thing, is that we spent something like $30 billion on the effort to replace a system we own and we can add on to. It doesn't make any sense. It's written in a very simple language, a computer language called MUMPS. Now, MUMPS. And it is readily available for download. Hard to beat that. Okay, guys. Well, there's a lot more to say on this. And like I said, it's 180 different aspects of the hospital, including dietary, radiology, pharmacy, doctor's notes, the whole 9 yards. And, you know, it can be added on to. That's one of the things that's so powerful about it, is that just because you got the basic one doesn't mean you can't add on to it. And it costs you nothing to do that. It just takes understanding. So I encourage you, go take a look. It's a lot of routines, but the routines are basically pretty recognizable. And the database is very interesting. But we'll cut it here and have a good afternoon. Bye.